Hi, I'm Krishna Mohan. So today we are going to learn about how to access the static variables. Okay, in the previous classes we have already learned about what is a static variable and how to declare a static variable. But today we are going to learn about how to access the static variable. Okay, so I will be opening the PyCharm. Okay, I have already created the project. I have created the package in that module, and inside that I have created a Python file. Okay, so here our subject is how to access static variable. Okay, we can access static variable from anywhere. Okay, anywhere in the sense while sitting in my house. Okay, not like that. Okay, anywhere means we can access from inside the constructor, or first thing from um, inside the constructor, or from inside the instance method. Third one, inside the uh, what you call class method. Fourth one, inside the static method, or from inside, not inside, outside the class. Okay, here if you are using a constructor, how can you access from a constructor? Inside the constructor we can access by using there are two ways over here, by using self or through class name. Okay, you can use self or you can use the class name to access the static variables inside the constructor. Okay, in the same way, if inside the instance method we can use self or class name, but it is recommended to use the class name. Okay, you should not use self, even though you can use it, but it is recommended to use the class name, right? And inside the class, how? Class name. Okay, inside the static method we can use only class name, and outside the class definitely class name. Okay, and can here the outside the class, even though you can use by using the class name, but you can also use the through reference variable also, through what is the object. Okay, so for this class method, inside the class method, or there is another way, CLS, we can use it. We'll see. Okay, how? So I'm taking my project over here, file over here, what is it, Python file. In that I will be creating a class, CLSS class name will be sample. Okay, in that actually it is recommended to define a static variable inside a class. Okay, not inside the constructor. Okay, so what I will declaring a variable a is equal to some 10. Okay, this is a static variable I have declared inside the class. So the first thing, uh, here it is said that okay, we can access the instance, I can access the static variable inside a constructor, but uh, while using class name and by using self also. So we'll be checking that. Okay, so what I will be doing is I will be doing one thing. I will be taking two variables, two static variables, so 20, and I will be taking a constructor. What will be the constructor? Def. What will be the name of the constructor? Underscore underscore init underscore underscore self. Okay, so from the constructor, how can I access it? Suppose if I wanted to print, okay, print the value of a, I can use through class name. Means what is the class name? Sample dot a, or I can also use self dot b. See here, right? So I will run it, but here if I run it means it will not show anything, because this constructor will be called whenever we create a object. So I will create an object. Ref is the reference variable, and in the sample, which is the constructor. Okay, now I will run it. See here, 10 and 20 is been printed. So we can access uh, a static variable inside the from inside the constructor by using class name or by self, by using self. So but it is recommended always to use the class name. Okay, if you want to access the static variables. Okay, so this is about the constructor. Now let us take a method, instance method. I will delete it. I will be taking an instance method def. My instance method name is method. Okay, now here I wanted to access it, so print. Okay, how can do? I can use class name or I can use self. So sample dot a, the same way, print sample dot b. Okay, this is an instance method, so I have to call this method to the reference variable or the object. So ref dot method. Okay, I am running this. See here, 10 and 20 are printed. So I can access through class name or I can use self. Okay, both the things I can use. If I wanted to access the static variables from the instance method. Okay, now what about class methods? What about class methods? So I will be converting this into class method. Okay, don't get confused. So at the rate class method. So in this I will be declaring the def c method. Okay, see here, in the class method, if you want to access a static variables, so I can access a static variables through the class name. Okay, through the sorry, here I have, in the both the cases I have written the here, sorry. So in the methods also I have written, sorry, uh, the previous, while discussing about the method, I have taken both the class names also. I will take a method def and try to explain it to method also. Method, method, right? Then I will be printing sample dot a, print, sorry, self dot b. Okay, previously I have taken both the samples. Okay, I will be deleting that. Okay, right, I will be executing this method first. Okay, 10 and 20 are printed, right? We can use self as well as uh, sample, that is what is the class name. So let us string convert this into class method. Class method. Okay, um, here while modifying, what I have to do is, here it is not like this, it is class method. Okay, CLS. So I can't use self for the class method. Okay, so but instead of I can use CLS, which is the argument. Okay, I will be running this. Okay, right. So if I am using a class method, I can use a class name or the argument. Suppose, see here, okay, it is not always CLS, you can change it to some A. Okay, we'll be discussing more when I will be discussing about this class method. Okay, so let it be CLS. Okay, right, but we can't use self. See here, if you're saying, it is showing the error message. Okay, right. So hope you understood this class method. If you want to access the static variables inside the class method, we have to use the class name or CLS, what the argument. Okay, then what about the static what about the static method? So at the rate static method, so def yes, yes method, right? We can access uh, the static variables in a static method only through class name. So print sample.a. Okay, we can't use uh, self. Okay, self.b we can't use. Okay, so we have to use only sample.a, class name dot a. We have to use only the class name. Okay, I will run it. Okay, see here, right. Then what this is what is important is how to outside the class, how can you use it. Okay, we, outside the class we have to use, we can use by giving the class reference or the object reference. Okay, by using the reference variable or by using the class name. Okay, so If I outside the class, if I wanted to use it, I'm deleting it. If I outside the class, if I wanted to use the variables, so print, I can use the class name. So sample.a, or else I can use the reference variable. So ref.b. Okay. See here, I am going to run it. Right. So but it is always recommended to use the class name, even though we can use self for in many cases, some cases, or you can use the reference variable if you are using outside the class, but it is always recommended to use the class name if you wanted to access the static variables. Okay, hope you understood how to access the static variables. Okay, later in later classes we will be discussing about how to modify these static variables. Okay, thank you.